Happy Thursday night. I'm going live with Dara from DR Holistics. We are talking detoxing and lifestyle wellness tonight. I'm live from a treadmill, like usual, just getting my body moving because I've been sitting down all day. So Dara's going to come on live with me, and we are going to talk about detoxing and lifestyle wellness tonight. We are in the Holistic Health Bundle together, and we are so excited to share our journeys and some advice to you on how to get well and how to take care of your body in a healthy and holistic way. I'm just waiting for Dara to come on. So if you have any questions during this bundle launch that we're doing and during our live videos, you can always let us know. But basically, we're part of this bundle, this holistic health bundle, to help you up-level your life and to help you detox and to help you learn about herbal medicine and to help you with your mindset and your mind-body connection and feed your body temple the foods that are going to help you elevate your wellness and increase your vibration. And all right, I see Dara. Our contributions and also about what Dara does and how we can help you heal. She's coming on from California. Hey Dara, how are you? Good morning. I just said good morning. I literally just said good morning. That's how long this day has been.
Yeah, here we go. Oh, I love your walking treadmill. That's
I am walking, so I hope that it's not too distracting. Yeah.
It keeps you engaged, the movement. It's good.
Yeah, it keeps me engaged because I've just been sitting a lot. So I've gotta move. And plus I just had some sweet potato, and it's like really late at night. And I don't usually do that. I usually intermittent fast and don't eat late at night. And so yeah, not a good idea to eat right before you go to bed. Because that's what I'm
Sometimes you gotta do it, you know?
Yeah, I was hungry. So I ate.
Exactly. That's how I am too. I'm like, if I'm that hungry, I'd rather eat, because if I'm really hungry going to bed, I have a hard time sleeping. So
same here. Totally.
So
when your stomach is like,
I'd rather eat than,
Yeah. Typically, I like to intermittent. Do you intermittent fast, or do you have time restricted eating, if you will, or eating window?
I used to do that. But now I just kind of go with how I feel, which kind of ends up being about that.
Yeah.
It's probably more like 12 hours, so I'm not trying to force it. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. Sometimes I'm trying to actually eat. I'm trying to get myself to eat more because I will have clients and then it's like 3 o'clock and I'm like, oh my God, I haven't eaten anything. So I'm trying to be better at like eating, because then I'll just end up like binge eating and overeating for dinner, so I'm trying to get the fruit in early, and most of the time I do good. It's just when I'm super busy, I'm like, I forget to, I don't even have time to like make a smoothie really quick. So
yeah, I know. So it's so funny. Like, I was gonna ask my clients today, just like in a group chat, but I didn't end up doing that. I was gonna ask them, like, are you the type of person that, like, if you're gonna have a really busy day, do you do like almost like a one meal a day type of thing? Like, cause I do. Like, if I know that I'm gonna be busy, like I was today, I was on the news this morning. Like, I ate so much this morning, and I know how to be able to do that without feeling like super uncomfortably full. Of course, we have to like focus on like the more calorie dense foods, right? So I ate a lot this morning because I just knew I was going to be busy throughout the day, and like I feel like that's a better approach than if you're busy and you just eat a little bit in the morning and then you're like not fueling your body properly throughout the day. And then at night, like you said, you'll like binge, and a lot of the times people will choose unideal foods.
Yeah, because nighttime is when you want those heavy, dense foods, the comfort foods, in the morning, you're way more motivated to just have a smoothie and fruit and whatever.
And I'm
Yeah,
really,
I'm trying to get in like as much as I can for breakfast with just fruit,
yeah.
smoothies and stuff, and then um, set myself up, you know?
Ah. So, you and I just chatted. You were on my
I might
podcast.
need to
I'm
go
gonna add,
inside.
yeah, you
Sorry,
can
guys.
move that phone. I'm gonna add the, let's see here. Hold on 1 second.
My neighbor's doing some yard work.
Um,
Okay.
no worries.
So we're gonna come inside.
You and I were just on a podcast interview. You were just on my podcast, and I'm very excited about it. I'm trying to figure out if I can link, or not link, but like pin. Why is it not letting me pin? Oh, there we go. Pin comment. Okay. So you and I are in the Holistic Health Bundle together.
This is Pepper.
And, oh, Pepper?
Yeah.
Aww.
She likes to say hi when I'm on the phone.
I love it. I've got Tulsi, saffron, sage, and ginseng. Those are my 4 cats.
And I have pepper, and we're just like a bunch of little spices and
Love
herbs, huh?
it. I love it. I love pepper. Do you love pepper?
Yeah.
By the way, I'm obsessed with I love it so much.
Yeah. Well, it's so great when you're doing like a salt-free dish, like just pepper kind of, it just helps, you know?
It's so, yeah, it really does add so much flavor. And I know that it's not like ideal, probably antioxidant-wise, but I have found that I very much enjoy smoked black pepper. Have you ever had it?
No,
Your mind is about to be blown. I've actually smoked my own because I wanted to have control over what was going on. And oh my word, it tastes so good. It's mind-blowingly good. So yeah, that's a fun fact. But I love to get the ones that are like blended, like different colors, like the red, the pink, the green peppercorns, the black peppercorns. But yeah, so herbs and spices are awesome.
Herbs and spices.
You and I were talking on my podcast interview about detox, and I think we should dive a little bit into that tonight. And I just had a question for you because I didn't ask you this one. Are you a beans and grains type of girl, or do you focus mostly on fruits and vegetables?
I prefer fruits and vegetables, but I will do beans and grains. Yeah, I find that when they're soaked and like just prepped really well, they digest better.
For sure.
And then I try and stick to like for grains, I'll try and do like quinoa or wild rice, which I guess technically isn't even a grain.
Right.
You know, just a little bit more of the ancient kind of things that are a little cleaner. I love beans. I mean, of course I love grains too.
Yeah.
But I don't cook with a lot of beans. Once in a while I like to make a chickpea tuna salad.
Oh yeah.
That's really yummy, and I might do that with like rice crackers. Yeah, so
I actually wanted to just tell the audience tonight here about, and this has nothing to do with detoxing. I mean, I guess if you eat beans and you're eating the standard American diet, you're definitely going to go through a detox process. If you start just eating whole beans, whole grains, fruits, veggies, nuts, and you're going to go through a detox process. Like, so your body will naturally start to detox, which is a beautiful thing. Anyways, I buy black chickpeas, and they're so pretty. I actually soaked mine. What is today? Thursday. I soaked mine starting on Tuesday, cooked up a huge batch of white and black chickpeas, and it just makes it so much more enjoyable when they're like rainbow. And I loaded that on a sweet potato today with a bruschetta with like really potent garlic from our farm, and it was so good. And I am just really excited. So then I told my husband naturally that we need to grow our own black chickpeas because they're so expensive.
Yeah. Yeah. Do
But
it.
I imagine that there's really good phytonutrients in there because, you know, like those deeply pigmented foods.
Yeah.
I feel like they're like more nourishing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Always go with the super colorful food. Always.
So we're in this bundle together, and there's so many contributions, and just healing modalities that people probably don't even know about. I can't remember which one it was that I was going through last night, and I really feel bad about that. I should know, but it was literally like naming off all of the things that you can do to start to heal. And it was an ebook, but I'm sure if you buy the bundle, guys, you'll find it. But I mean, things that people probably don't even know about. Maybe just not just like dry brushing, right? For lymphatic drainage, but like a lot more. And I want to know from you, Dara, what are some of the things that you think that people don't associate with detoxification? Like modalities that maybe they have never heard of, or maybe ones that you practice that might be surprising to people, especially just to people, you know, like the everyday person.
The everyday person. I mean, so I think, I wonder what the regular person thinks of when you say detox, you know? Probably drugs and alcohol, right? Like getting off of drugs and alcohol.
Maybe, yeah.
A lot of people who call my detox retreat center saying like, you know, I need to get sober, I need help, but I'm like, we're not that kind of detox place, you know?
Yeah.
But fruit, I think people don't realize how amazing fruit is, but also fruit is the most detoxing food on the planet. And also, not only is fruit detoxifying, but everything other than fruit, other than just leafy greens, is pretty much not detoxifying. So even though, you know, nuts and seeds or whatever, whole plants, they're all healthy, but they're not necessarily detoxing, right? And so to open up the detox pathways and get the body into a state of detoxification, we have to eliminate our, you know, high protein or high amino acid, high fat foods, and really just stick to fruits and greens, which is why, you know, juice cleansing is so popular, is because there's hardly any fat and amino acids. I mean, you get some, of course, but it's not like eating avocados and nuts and seeds and beans. So doing, you know, kind of a fruit cleanse or juice cleanse with fruits or smoothies is super detoxing. Let's see, what else that people don't really think about?
What is your thought about this huge coffee enema craze?
I'm not into the coffee enema. I don't drink coffee, and so it's like if I don't want it in one end of my body, then I probably should put it on the other end. I know that it is a powerful detox. Your liver does like freak out and just release anything. So yeah, I mean, you can get results from that, but it's also going to be putting your body through some stress. And I always opt for the more gentle version of detoxification. I'd rather go slow and steady if you have, you know, the means and the time. I'd rather, I mean, a water enema is so powerful.
Yeah.
Like, you really don't need that much more than that. And if you want a little bit more, a little lemon juice cranks it up like 10 notches. I'm not into caffeine in general or coffee in general. So, yeah, I think the coffee enema is just not, it's a little too much.
I'm thinking about the audio that's out there right now that's like, it's a no from me.
Yeah.
And like I feel like that's what Dara is saying.
Yeah. No.
It's a no for me. Okay? It's a for me. So yeah, there's a lot of healing modalities out there, guys, and you're gonna learn a lot about them in bundle. But what do you focus a lot on cruciferous vegetables?
Not so much, but I don't honestly don't have anything against them. I think a lot of people are kind of steering clear of them right now because they're hard to digest. But I think once you have healed your gut completely and gotten rid of the inflammation, those vegetables become a lot easier to digest, you know? So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's so much back and forth on cruciferous vegetables. You know,
I know.
there's like some people, like medical medium is kind of like all about cruciferous vegetables, and then people more in the detox world don't think that they're human food, and so
What about garlic? What are your thoughts on garlic?
garlic, I think, is a powerful medicine and should be used as a powerful medicine. Yeah, I don't know if I really agree with eating it every single day like most people do. But that's a really hard one to get away from, and that is in the category of like, I call it refinement. You know, I always try and tell people, like, let's get the diet dialed, let's get your water dialed, let's get your movement figured out, let's get the basics done, and then we can do the little tinking and refinement, because those are the little things that get people really overwhelmed. They're like, wait, I can't have garlic, or I can't do garlic every day, or whatever it is. You know, it's like those little things.
Yeah.
Again, that's another one that's like so back and forth, and I kind of see all sides of it. So, yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't think it's bad at all. I think it's a really medicinal vegetable. But I do think we are like I think we're over consuming it. A lot of us.
Yeah, I think it can be hard on the digestive system as well. I know just for me, like going through, even just recently going through some like IBS symptoms because I had viral overload from multiple different viruses, Epstein-Barr, cytomegalovirus, COVID 3 times. My body literally just kind of freaked out, and I started having histamine responses to like my favorite food, like tons of different fruits. Yeah, like it was horrible. And somebody said cruciferous vegetables and garlic really work great for me, cooked or steamed though. That's good to know. Yeah, more gentle, cooked down. I've actually been thinking about, but anyways, back to what happened with me. Yeah, I had that, and like garlic was just so super harsh for me, and I had to focus on like really ridiculously like bland foods. So it's like it was like really sad because I wanted to detox, but the foods that were actually like supportive to detoxification, like fruits and vegetables, were very, very harsh on my gut, even if they were juiced. And I wasn't willing on doing a water fast because I just really like food, and I have a life, and I'm a mom, and you know, I can't travel to True North or to your facility or anything like that, or to go and try to do like a water fast, even for like 3 days. I just am not willing to do it, and I really don't like the feeling of hunger.
Yeah, I hear you.
So I was eating tons of white rice, which is like terrible. Like, I mean, it's not the end of the world, but like it's like very unideal. Other than white bread, but I had to find something. that I could actually eat, get calories in. Because even potatoes and sweet potatoes, I couldn't even do. Like, it was crazy.
Wow.
So it was definitely having like this massive flare. But thankfully, herbs really did help me out in a gentle way. Like you said, you like to focus on like gently healing. So even though I had to have that for maybe even weeks, not just that only, but like I could only have small amounts of like fruit, small amounts of vegetables with these, and it was like the basis of like my calories.
Mm-hmm.
I was detoxifying, gently with like biocidin, biofilm disruptors, and the oregano and many other supplements. So that's actually wanted to talk to you. I wanted to ask you about, Dara. Like, do you believe in supplements for detoxification, or do you believe really just more purely on, juicing and fruits and the natural way?
Yeah, really, I focus on fruits, juices, and herbs. Um,
What
that's
are some of your favorite herbs?
I use Dr. Robert Morris's herbal tinctures.
Okay.
And also the Master Fast system. I have a lot of his herbs because I can buy them in bulk bottles and give them to my clients that way. Their blends are amazing. And so
What brand was that? I'm sorry.
the Master Fast system.
Okay.
Yeah, it's he's up there with Dr. Robert Morris. They're just amazing naturopaths with just incredible knowledge on herbs. And so each one is a specific blend to different organs. And so I love that. But apart from the blends, I love working with Triphala, which actually is still a blend. It's a 3-plant blend. It's amazing for the digestive system. It has amla in it, which is one of the highest antioxidant sources.
Yeah.
I think of all food on the planet, it is like the number one.
Yeah, it's the highest ORAC value, definitely the highest vitamin C.
Yeah, so that I love using that. So incredible. And then,
How do you spell that?
What is it?
Is it TREE Fola?
Triphala. And then I love using Irish sea moss, or really just any sea moss.
Do you make your own?
I do. Yeah, I buy it dry, soak it, rinse it, soak it, rinse it again, and then blend it up into a little gel. Mm-hmm. And for anyone who doesn't know, Irish sea moss has 92 minerals, and our body is comprised of 102 minerals. So, that's a large amount. And then when you mix sea moss with bladderwrack, which is another sea vegetable, it has all 102 minerals. And so I tell people to just load up on that, get the minerals in. And when I take that regularly, I feel superhuman. Like,
yeah,
strong. Yeah. I love
That's
it.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't found a brand of sea moss that I like want to tell people about. I'm trying to figure out the best.
Okay. I have one, samadhi moss. I might have to put that in.
Yeah, amla. Amla. Somebody's asking, do you say amla is the highest vitamin level? It is. Yeah, it's called, also known as the Indian gooseberry.
Yeah.
So it's incredibly tart on its own, but that just shows the power. Samada simas. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Samada. Okay.
Yeah, so I think amla might be like the number 2 highest source. I think barberry has the highest, but
oh yeah, okay.
But it's up there.
Yeah, and elderberry is pretty high up there too. Mm-hmm. Like right under the amla. In terms of ORAC, barberry. I have the barberries in my pantry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think a lot of supplements on the market are synthetic. I also don't believe in isolating nutrients or minerals. I think nature packs them perfectly in with the fruits and vegetables, and so as soon as we like extract it, there's gonna be some negative effects on the body. So I don't really recommend taking, just a vitamin E and then a vitamin whatever and then taking all these things. I recommend taking superfoods that have super high amounts of these things in it.
Out of curiosity, Dara, what do you recommend for people who don't have access to the sun year-round and are vitamin D deficient?
Yeah, for people in that case, then I would recommend taking vitamin D. I think vitamin D and B12 fall under my two
Acceptable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. You take a B12?
I do take a B12, yeah. But I know people who have, been on this lifestyle for so long that their microbiome gets so healthy that it starts producing its own B12 and their levels go up without taking any.
Yeah.
So for anyone who doesn't know, B12 is made from bacteria. So the idea is that when you have a healthy gut microbiome, you can just produce your own source of it. So a lot of us, though, are deficient, and I think until you reach that point, you should probably take some, whether you're plant-based or not, because it's a dangerous one to be deficient in.
Yeah, and if you have been like, and this isn't medical advice, but like I just know this because I was on the on an oral contraceptive for 15 years. It can deplete the body of B vitamins. There are other habits and daily activities like sugar, and that can deplete the body of B vitamins as well. And also, I believe, and don't quote me on this, but I think that people that have, well, we know like there's methylation issues with people who have the MTHFR gene, which I also have. And I've, they might have B12 issues. And I've never had, ever since I got my blood tested for B12, I have never had low levels. However, I guarantee before I started getting my B12 tested, I was deficient because I was having symptoms of like numb fingers and stuff like that. And yeah, I didn't go and get my blood tested for some dumb reason. I should have. But yeah, I believe that as well. Like the D and the B12, crucial, especially, I definitely do. I have super low D levels, and I do take that. So that was just a question I had. So in the bundle, you have a detox book.
Yeah.
Tell us more about it.
So I guess it's more just an educational book, and I really focus on salt, oil, sugar, and caffeine, and all the things that they never tell you about this, Salt, oil, sugar, caffeine are like the most addictive things right now. Not talking about drugs and alcohol, but I consider them in the same category because they are that addictive, and people also just don't even realize that they might be causing problems in their life. It's just so ingrained in us to not ever think twice about adding salt to our food and oil to our food and having those sweet treats and waking up first thing, having our coffee or tea or whatever. And so these things are in most people's everyday life, sometimes all day long, 3 times a day or however many. So I really want people to know the truth and to be able to start making some changes, whether they're small or big. You know, you don't have to take salt out of your diet for the rest of your life. That's like, you know, I applaud you if you can do that. That's really, really impressive. But, you know, at least start having the intention and awareness and making those changes for yourself, you know.
Yeah.
So,
And then add on flour products and then alcohol at night,
right.
and you're just like in this like constant state of dopamine and, you know, overstimulation to the taste buds.
Mm-hmm.
Then, you know, your sugar crash, and then you go for the alcohol to get, you know, maybe stimulated a little bit, but really crash at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just this cycle, like you said.
Yeah.
And people are not, I just speak from experience with this, that I was that person. Like I was waking up and relying on caffeine. You were too?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, and it's like taking that veil off. Like some people maybe that are listening to this might not realize that there's like a veil over their life right now. And like, I promise, if you can start focusing on more whole foods, more fruits, more vegetables, a little less salt, definitely a lot less sugar, and no alcohol if possible.
Yeah.
The veil can lift and the mental fog can release,
Mm-hmm.
and the energy levels can elevate. And I was on a live earlier today talking about like we didn't realize, we were both saying like we didn't realize how good we can feel. And we just really, we really did think that the fatigue and the brain fog and the stomach aches were just normal. They were just normal part of life that we were going to deal with forever, right? Mm-hmm. And that's actually not true, like at all. It doesn't have to be that way. And hopefully we're giving you some hope on this live to know that it doesn't have to be that way and that you can feel amazing.
Yeah.
I
remember when I first changed my diet and lifestyle. I remember the first night I slept really well and I woke up feeling rested, and I had this energy when I woke up, and I was like ready to take on the day. And I just remember this like just flip, like you said, the veil was lifted and I just started feeling so good. And I realized that I don't know if I had ever really felt that good. Maybe when I was a little kid, but I don't remember it. And then I also realized I don't think anybody knows how good they can feel. And that is truly, truly sad, because we become so habitual to, you know, our headaches and our fatigue and our mucus and our constipation, and we just think that that's just all normal, you know, and not even talking about chronic diseases and symptoms. And that's what I love about this bundle that we're a part of. Is it's such an amazing resource, and there's, you know, 117 different courses and ebooks that all have their unique story on healing. And I wish that I had all of that when I was first starting, you know, but I was on this journey of like learning. It took me years to figure all this stuff out. That is like, so much of it is in this bundle, and it's so exciting to be able to offer that to people. And if anyone here hasn't heard, I've been talking about it. You've probably been talking about it on your Instagram, but this bundle is valued, if you add all the ebooks and stuff together, at like $8,000 or a little over. And it's on sale for $50 right now until the 30th. And then the bundle's going to be gone. It's just not even on sale. It's just like, it's done after that. So highly recommend you get on it. Yeah.
It's gone into the ethos
It'll be gone. I'm so excited that I have access to everything. I've been just like
Me
so
too.
excited to dive in.
Yeah, on one of the days where I don't have too many lives, I'm gonna like, which is like not very many, but on one of the days, maybe I'll wake up really early and just really deep dive through it. But I actually wrote an email earlier today, Dara, saying the same thing. Like, how much I wish that I had this research earlier on. Like, we have the power of the internet these days, but like the problem with that is we don't know where to start. And like it's so funny because you mentioned barberry, and now I'm like going down the rabbit hole trying to figure out, is that actually higher in amla or than amla? Like I'm trying to find like, is that true? I'm trying to find that. I'm gonna go and search it out because I'm a geek like that and I just want to know.
I love it.
And it's so bad because what I'm looking at is I just was like, well, let me try a different search, and I put highest antioxidants foods, and the saddest thing is there's an article here
That one
saying,
green tea.
I mean, just hold on. It's like it's well, one of them is blueberries. Blueberries are up there,
Yeah.
good, but what was it? Hold on. Broccoli. Hold on. I have to go back to the actual Google search because it was a very sad list of foods. But the sad part is that the standard American diet is setting us up for. I think maybe you and I even talked about this on the podcast episode that I interviewed you on, like that coffee is like has been said is like one of the highest antioxidant sources of the American diet these days. Like,
Right.
what? Like, that's so sad. But yeah, so on Healthline, they say dark chocolate as number one. Dark chocolate as number one. Pecans, blueberries, strawberries, artichokes, goji berries. I mean, goji berries are up there, but like that's old news. I mean, they're like nothing compared to other highly pigmented berries, right? And yeah, no. Why do they keep putting dark chocolate? Why do they do that? Like,
That's the thing is like, even though, like you said, we have all the information in the world, or our world at least, on our fingertips, it's like weeding through all of the dogma, all of the marketing, all of the money, all of the BS, and finding the actual truth, which is really hard to do. And you can go on and read those articles, you can go and read a study about how bacon is super healthy, and most people aren't able to depict those studies and figure out why they're false or why they're correct, and look at who's funding them. And it takes a long time to really figure out all of this stuff. And so, yeah, this bundle, just having all these experts who have done all of that weeding is just, it's just awesome.
yeah,
Someone asked how to get the package, and it's in both of our links in our bios, so you can go to one of our profiles and get it there.
yeah. And I did see somebody ask about IBS and inflammation. This live is not here for medical advice, but we just want to, I want to ask you, like, Dara, what would your suggestion be for somebody if they're dealing with IBS or inflammation?
Yeah, so yeah, IBS is inflammation, and so you want to eat anti-inflammatory foods. I can put it as simple as eat fruits and vegetables and take out basically everything else, especially the processed foods. Um, all processed foods, I would take those out immediately, and focus on lots of fiber, lots of fruits, lots of vegetables. And if vegetables, this is one of those things where people with IBS might have a hard time with cruciferous vegetables. Get some herbs for the bowels that helped heal the inflammation, maybe some aloe vera. And once that inflammation goes down, you'll be able to handle those vegetables a little bit more. But if you're eating dairy, definitely get off that right away. That's like number one. Yeah, and just focus on fruits and veggies. Like keep it that simple. And then, you know, definitely meditate and try and do everything you can to release stress, you know? So I could go on and on, but those are the tips I'll give right now.
And my tip would be to focus on therapeutic doses of ginger. I'm not sure if that's something that you agree with or not, Dara.
Absolutely.
Because, yeah, I mean, it can be really strong, though, right? Like for people, kind of like garlic. Like it's strong, it's potent.
Yeah.
But like I learned working with an integrative gut health dietitian from Married to Health, Dahlia Marin, she's actually in the bundle, and you guys can get their ebook called Good Gut A to Z, and she was helping me through this viral overload that I was telling you about, where I did get diagnosed with SIBO, IBS. Like I was a wreck, and I was feeling horrible. I actually think I had I had like acute food poisoning, which kind of triggered everything, and then I was just like not good. I threw up after I had zucchini, like just normal foods, like it was not good. But I learned from her about how people are using ginger, but they're not using therapeutic doses. Like you need to be like eating ginger all day, like as much as you possibly can, to really combat that inflammation. And it helped me so much.
Yeah, ginger is amazing for the stomach. And yeah, I would say ginger, absolutely. I know peppermint has been shown to really help the stomach as well. Of course, papaya is very soothing. Aloe vera is super soothing. Yeah, ginger is a powerhouse for the tummy. Oh my god. Yeah, good call.
Yeah, somebody's saying real ginger pill. I mean, there's lots of different ways to do it. For me, I did have to take capsules of dried ginger.
Yeah. Most of those, I would just make sure that it's like dried ginger. It's just the powder, it's the whole food. You know, I don't know much of extracts, but I would just stick to the whole food. And if it's in a pill, I think that's fine.
Yeah, that's what I did. And you know, you can also blend it. But again, for a lot of people, like it just doesn't. It's kind of hard to take because it is so strong. Like you could juice it, I guess. There are still benefits to that. But I did take capsules, and I took high doses of it. So, and she's like, you can't take too much.
Yeah, if you want to take that much, you probably are best doing the capsules because, like you said, it's so strong. And I love juicing it, but you know, I can only do little shots at a time. So
yeah, so another thing that people can consider doing is like mixing it with some lemon juice, freezing it into ice cubes, making like a lot of ginger juice, freezing it into ice cube trays, and then just putting it in a cup of warm water and sipping it all day, and making like being able to like make a ginger tea that way. But yeah, that would be my suggestion too. So what else was I going to ask you? So yeah, I mean, there in the bundle, there's so many things that I think, like we were saying earlier, like the internet is there, but like nobody knows how to search. If you type in like holistic healing, you're going to learn, I don't know, maybe about plant-based nutrition, or maybe another article will be about detoxification, or another article might be about the importance of doing sauna or sweating, or lymphatic drainage, or you know, sound therapy, or different types of biohacking. And all of this is going to be found in the bundle, including, somebody also mentioned earlier, something about trauma. Trauma work is in there as well.
Yeah,
And it's
like a 30-day trauma healing, right?
yeah, that's like so crucial. That's actually been part of my journey to healing, because
Yeah.
I don't know about you, Dara, but like I have trauma, and I definitely grew up with trauma, and I've been suppressing it for a really long time.
Yeah.
And for somebody who deals kind of with a chronic illness, with like a thyroid imbalance, probably in part due to the pharmaceuticals that I took for 20 plus years of my life. There's, you know, there's also trauma that can impact the immune system. And so now that I know that, I've been doing a lot of stuff like breath work and sound baths. And, you know, I'm totally open to other modalities of healing. And a lot of them are free, like going outside and putting your feet on the ground, or walking in the stream, and putting your hands in the dirt. Also very healing, but you're never going to see that in any type of article that you Google. It's not all going to be together, all in one space, which is why the bundle is so epic. It's just so, so good.
Yeah, one thing I've learned out of everything is that we truly need to heal all aspects of ourselves, our mind, our body, our soul, you know, because you can eat all the healthy foods in the world, but if you're stressed out and you're traumatized and just holding on to all of that, like, you might as well be eating cheeseburgers, you know? It's like, it will turn your body into acid. So, and then vice versa, the same thing, right? The other way around. If you can't like out meditate an unhealthy diet either. It's like you have to do all of it, which is why I love holistic health and healing, because it's not just one thing. It's just, what do we need to do to heal, and let's do that, you know, which is a lot of different things.
So if you have any tips on how people can get started with detoxing or lifestyle wellness, because that's what I titled this, do you just have, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 top tips that you would love to share with people to just get started on a healing journey?
Well, let's see. So I think what's more important than detoxing is the healthy, consistent diet that you eat in between the detoxes, you know, which could be a detox for the standard American person. And really what that is a whole food, plant-based diet. But so that's number one, is at least start there, and which is going to be detoxing. It's going to help your detox pathways. It's not a, you know, really deep detox. But the problem is, I think a lot of people know that they need to eat more fruits and vegetables and less processed foods, but they're not. And I like people to focus on that. Why are you not doing what you know you should be doing for your health and for your body? And what block do you have there? You know, what, like, self-sabotaging behavior, what trauma responses are you having that are making you not move forward into your health and do the things that you know you should do? So that's why I think getting out of your own way is like so huge, and to do that, it's really healing that trauma, moving through your fears and insecurities. So I think finding true, like, self-love and healing on that level is what's gonna make your whole journey so much easier and more doable, because at that point it's not about willpower. You want to do it for yourself, you know. So finding self-love, healing trauma, and focusing on whole plant organic foods, I think, is just is just key. Like those are start there, you know.
Those are so helpful. I gotta agree. I think the most important thing is to find a dietary pattern that you're going to stick with, because the detoxes that you do are worth virtually nothing, and a ton of wasted money, ton of wasted energy and effort if you go back to the lifestyle that you had to detox in the first place.
Exactly. Consistency is absolutely key.
It is. And you know, I don't use a lot of things from medical medium, even though like I think that his dietary pattern is like great. Like, but I did hear him one time say, and I tell all of my clients this because I think it was one of the most genius things I've ever heard. I've taken it out of context and put it into my own thing, but the gist of it was that we should be eating as though we're detoxing all the time.
Okay.
And I have added to this, the reason why is because, well, it's not a detox in the first place. Like, eating whole natural foods is not a detox. Eating whole natural foods is what we are created to do.
Right.
We are the only species that eats food that's actually cooked, right? We're the only species that takes food out of its natural state and eats it. And also, we have so many environmental toxins out there that we are not in control of, such as the air that we're breathing. Sometimes the water that we're drinking, maybe you don't have access to a really good filtration system. All of the products that are in the grocery store and, on store shelves, like personal care products, you do have access to safer products, but most people don't know that they're largely unregulated. Most people have no clue. And they think that what they're buying might be safe or that they're protected, but the very sad reality is that you're not, and these things are not health promoting. So the biggest thing that we can do is eat all the time like we're detoxing, which is literally just whole plant foods that support the detoxification pathway at all times. And somebody was asking how to detox the liver. Like fruits and vegetables are going to be one of your best ways to do that. I will also add that there is a ton of science showing that, and this is one of the reasons why I was asking you, since you're a detox specialist, there is also a lot of research that does show that cruciferous vegetables are incredibly detoxifying to the liver. They help to open up the detox pathways. And so same with alliums, like garlic and onions, which can be quite potent to the body. But they are very liver supportive, but so is fruit. And it's so easy on the gut. And it supports a healthy gut microbiome, specifically if you can go and eat a whole bunch of different types of fruits. Because the more different types of fiber that we're getting, the healthier our gut microbiome. And I will also say, because I have done a kind of a deep dive scientifically to support my liver, because through this whole process of me just getting this raw go in the last like 6 months with my liver as well, my liver enzymes were elevated a lot. I couldn't, stomach it because I had the IBS flare up. Like I couldn't stomach regular foods. I looked at juices, which I have like 5 juicers, maybe it's 4. I don't know. I have a lot of different juicers. In my whole like journey, like of the last 14 years, where I've really kind of taken health seriously. I've gone through phases of juicing and stuff like that for various reasons. But since I used to be addicted to processed foods and sugar, sometimes me drinking juices really triggers a
like a sugar, like I really want sugar. I want like flour. I want baked goods. So for me, I'm like backing off on that. But I have dove deep into green juices in particular. And there is so much to support green juices, actually, for the gut microbiome, even though there's no fiber.
Yeah.
So I think that that's incredibly interesting. You know, really focusing on trying to get a lot of the greens in the juices.
I think juices should be used as like supplementation,
Yeah.
you know, to, like a way to pack in, like, when would you ever eat like this many greens, you know,
Right.
and then have your salad and then still have your whatever vegetable dinner? It's like drinking a supplement.
It
You're
is.
supplementing clean, pure water, like structured living water. You're all those minerals and vitamins and antioxidants and the chlorophyll, and I mean, it is just completely purifying. Like, it's so good. But yeah, that's not necessarily a meal, you know. So
Yeah, true. And it's also interesting, just as we kind of start to wrap this up, because I know we could probably talk all day.
Yeah.
And people do have questions. Somebody has questions about juices versus smoothies. I'm going to say what I think, just based on my personal experience recently, and also just my personal preference.
Right.
Because I like to eat. But what was I going to say? Shoot, I got distracted. Yeah, drinking it, like, it is like we're getting so many minerals when we juice, and it's like a high dose of them. And for many people, we're so nutrient deplete. I think it's a super smart thing to do. I don't think it's a smart thing to drink juices and have the standard American diet in any form. I don't think so at all. Because if you're going to go eat a burger and then have a green juice and tell yourself that you're healthy, no, it's actually just giving you more glucose on top of the glucose that you already ate from the gross processed bun. And that could actually cause metabolic issues. So if you're going to juice, eat whole foods. That is like, do not eat processed foods in addition to juice. That is not your ticket to health at all. And I will say, oh my God, I lost the train of thought again on that. We were talking about the nutrients. Well, let me answer this question about the juices versus smoothies, and maybe it'll come back to me. Shoot, because it was a good one. It was a good tip for you guys that are listening. For me, when I had an IBS flare, and I think this might be the same person that's asking, juices did better for me. And in addition to, like, maybe, I don't know, just other starches that were more gentle on my gut. And personal preference, I don't love smoothies, but they actually are better for your gut microbiome than juices. So if we're talking about gut health and strengthening the gut, fiber is what does that. And fiber is in smoothies. Fiber is not in juices. Fiber is gentler on the gut microbiome if you're having an IBS flare. And it is going to get you the nutrients in a very fast way. But smoothies are really good for people, for people in general, because it's a good way for them, especially if they're like used to the standard American diet. Smoothies are a really, really, really great way for people to get in lots of nutrients. And now I remember what I was going to say. But anyways, I'll say it in a minute. I don't like smoothies. There, I said it. I don't like them. I would rather eat food. I would rather eat the food because I like the chewing. So the closest thing that I get to a smoothie is nice cream. So like tonight for dinner, I actually had, well, before I had the sweet potato with beans, like I had a lot of kale with a lot of frozen bananas blended into oblivion with no liquid, and it was nice cream texture. So I could actually eat it with a spoon. So I guess technically if you let it melt a little, it would become a smoothie. That's what I like. I like to eat the food. But yeah, for IBS, I would just try, like probably Dara will say, like maybe some aloe, maybe some sea moss in a smoothie, right? Like I think both have benefits. But I was, before I stopped talking and listened to your 2 cents on juices and smoothies, you were saying people juice and they're getting this high dose of nutrients, and like we would never sit down and eat all that food. I agree. This day and age we wouldn't.
Right.
But back then, perhaps we would have.
Right.
And our gut microbiome would have been fine. But our gut microbiome has changed so much because our actual physical biome has changed so much that our internal biome has changed because of it. And we are just not, thanks to the standard American diet, thanks to all of the toxins out there that have ruined, the strength of our gut, we're not necessarily able to process that much fiber. And when they have actually found fossilized feces showing that people would eat way more than 100 grams of fiber a day, which is a ton of fiber, a ton. I think the like recommendation, I don't even know this because I just tell my clients to get way more than this, but I think it's like, I really should know this, like getting a minimum of 15 grams a day of fiber is what we should be doing. Maybe it's 25, it's like 15 or 25, and like most people aren't getting that.
Right.
So yeah, there's all my 2 cents on fiber and smoothies and juices. What do you think about that? Like,
that's a good point.
people?
Yeah, that made me think of like, you see monkeys and gorillas who are just eating fruits and leafy greens all day, and they put down so much. I could never keep up with them. And right, it's like our jaws are smaller and weaker now. Our food is like depleted, and so we have to pack in so much foods. Even when you're eating raw foods, nutrient-dense foods, you have to still eat so much more than I think people realize. And I think it takes a lot of time to actually be able to build up to a point where you can eat a meal of like 6 to 10 apples. I mean, that takes a lot of like work actually to do that. And you kind of have to build up your digestive system to even be able to do that, and maybe even your jaw strength. So that's why juicing and smoothies are so awesome, to make sure that we're like getting hyper nutrition. I think that's what we need to do right now, is like hyper nutrition, pack in the greens, pack in the fruits. And yeah, I think juices are amazing, especially for cleansing. Like if you really want to dive deep into cleansing, juice is really good to just give your whole digestive system a break, from working so hard. And again, like, just packing in, it's like supplements of vitamins and minerals and hydration. It's just all the things we need. But then there's smoothies that have all the actual fiber, and it's even more whole, right? Of course, it's like probably optimal that we just eat our fruits and vegetables. Like there's no juicers or blenders in nature. Yet they are such an amazing tool just to really pack in that food. So I don't know, I'm torn. I have a juice and a smoothie probably every day. So I can't pick one or the other. It really just depends on like your goal. And I agree with you. Like if you're eating a standard American diet and you're just adding in juices and smoothies, you're gonna have you know, blood sugar spikes, but don't blame the juices in the smoothies for
Right.
your
That's
insulin
the
resistance.
whole, yep. That's
You know, because it's
get
the
a bad
insulin
rap.
resistance from all of the processed foods and the oils and the fats and the proteins that are causing that insulin resistance that, you know, spikes when you have your juice or your smoothie. And, you know, we probably shouldn't be chugging those things, but I do know if you're really healthy, you can handle a juice. So,
Yeah.
I always say that just never blame the fruit or the vegetable. It just brings out the issues in the body, right?
Mhm.
Like when you have what was it? Like someone I know would anytime they would have an orange, they would get really mucusy. I'm like, well, that orange is probably like detoxing the mucus, you know, and I know for me, when I used to eat really unhealthy and then I would have some like pineapple or some sort of like more acid fruit, I would get like acid reflux and I would get like heart. But it's not the fruit. I'm only getting that because I'm eating terribly, you know. Fruit just shows what is wrong in the body. It just brings things up. It's like lights a fire under it, you know. It's like here, you gotta work on this and heal this. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So, yeah, you talked about insulin resistance, and you're so spot on. It's so sad that when people, like with mastering diabetes, I don't know if you know about like Robbie and Cyrus
Yeah.
from mastering diabetes. Like, if you eat a burger and then you eat fruit and you have diabetes, you're trying to lower your insulin dependence. But you say, well, I tried to add fruit into my diet and my blood sugar spiked. The reason why your blood sugar spiked is because you have excess adipose. You have excess fat. You have fat within the cell. And too much accumulated fat, so the sugar can't get in.
Exactly.
So it can't do its job. So that's exactly right. Like, let's just reiterate that fact that it's not the fruit's fault.
Mm-hmm.
It's the burger's fault.
Mm-hmm.
It's the saturated fat.
Yeah.
So, and I just want to clear this up as we close this conversation up, because I feel like we could talk about fiber and fruit all day. Maybe we'll do another live there. Maybe we'll do another live toward the end of the month. Maybe we can like do a deep dive on something specific when it comes to fruit.
I know.
Oh, shoot. She popped out. She'll probably come back in. But I wanted to just clarify for all of you that fiber, the standard American is getting 10 to 15 grams of fiber. And this is where I got my numbers mixed up. The standard American is getting 10 to 15 grams of fiber. Women should be aiming for at least 25 grams of fiber per day. You're welcome, Sophia. And men should be focusing on getting 30 to like 38. So we'll just say 35 grams per day. If you can get more, great. But here's my final 2 cents. Oh, Dara's back. No worries. I don't see you. Maybe you'll pop on here in a minute. But the takeaway with fiber recommendation would be to get as much fiber as you can, and instead of counting calories, count fiber. So if you are somebody that needs to start tracking this and see like if you're getting 10 grams of fiber a day and how you can improve as a woman that's listening to this, like trying to get up to 25 at least, I would highly suggest that you go and you get an app called Chronometer, CRONO meter, Chronometer. And instead of tracking anything else, don't look at sugar, don't look at carbohydrates, don't fear that. Look at fiber and start tracking your fiber for a few days' time and see if you can get up to that 25 grams. And remember that our ancestors were eating 100 or more grams of fiber. So if it feels difficult to process 25 grams of fiber, back it up, go low and slow like Dr. Will Volsowitz says. He's a gastroenterologist. He's incredible gut health gastroenterologist. Go low and slow. Add a little bit of fruit a day. If you find it hard on your gut, add a little bit more the next day, or a little bit more vegetables, and see if you can get up to that a minimum of 25%. Because whole fruits, which is what Dara and I promote, whole food, which is whole plant food. Only plants, because plants have fiber. Animal products don't. Most processed foods don't. Fiber is what helps you detoxify as well. Fiber pulls out excess estrogen from your body. Fiber pulls out excess cholesterol and saturated fat, and you poop it out. It pulls out the bad stuff and sweeps out your colon and feeds your gut microbiome prebiotics, probiotics, and when those two get together, they create postbiotics, which creates a healthy colon, a healthy gut microbiome, reduces the risk of cancer. So many things that we need. So fiber, fiber, fiber. That's the final takeaway.
Yeah. And I just
Darren's gone. I'm just gonna tell you about fiber.
I just want to make sure that Sophia knows she's asking about what fiber powders or supplements, but I say get them from whole foods. Every single plant on the entire planet has fiber. So pick your favorite fruits and vegetables and get your fiber from that. No need to get a fiber supplement.
Yeah, that's a good question, Sophia. So yeah, and I agree. I really do think that if anybody was going to take a fiber supplement, it would really only be in addition to a whole food plant-based diet. And in guar gum, there is a few studies showing specific guar gum can be helpful for some people who have IBS, inflammation of the gut. However, on the flip side, guar gum can actually cause IBS. So everybody's gut microbiome is different. There's millions of bacteria in the gut, and everybody's is different. Everybody's is individualized. We all have different gut bacteria, and everybody has, will have different sensitivities, but I wouldn't go in with a fiber supplement until you're already eating the whole plant foods. That's also my suggestion. I would just go in for the whole food. So, Dara, it was an awesome talk. For everybody listening, just make sure that you go to either of our bios and get the Holistic Health Bundle. If you want to do a deep dive on gut health, like I said, we've got Dara's contribution, which is talking about salt, oil, sugar, and caffeine, which are all things that can increase metabolic dis-ease and inflammation and a host of other issues. We have my contribution, which is called Nurturing Nature. It is for empowering kids to be raised holistic and plant-based, and I have some yummy recipes in there, plus other tips and tricks to help your kiddos kind of break free from the system, if you will. And then just speaking of gut health, because we kind of talked a lot about that tonight, Dahlia and James Marin from Married to Health, they're both integrative gut health dietitians. And James is also an environmental gut guru. He has some really crazy, awesome certification that has to do with the environment and how much of an impact the environment has on our gut health. They have this really awesome resource called Good Gut from A to Z, and that is in the bundle. And you will be very, very thrilled with it because it literally goes through the freaking alphabet and gives you multiple recipes with each letter that are all good gut conducive. They're all promoting good gut health. And it's just really a great resource. Plus so many other things, detoxing, holistic health, sound healing, all the things. So Dara, thank you so much for your time and education and your knowledge. And everyone that's listening, thanks so much for joining. And we hope that you found this valuable.
Yes, thank you guys so much.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Be well.